Let's see, everybody's coming up here. Okay, good. Welcome, how are you? Let's see here. Okay, this is my final and very special proclamation. We have talked about doing this for quite some time, especially beginning last year when we celebrated and recognized the 40th anniversary of the UT Tower incident. So, in fact, this past August 1st, just last week, marked the 41st anniversary of that, tragedy there at the tower at UT. But what we want to do, and we've talked about doing this, is we want to honor not only police officers, but the many civilians who were instrumental in ending Mr. Whitman's rampage and helping the wounded across campus and even inside the tower. The civilians involved include an airplane pilot who circled the tower with an armed officer to try to end the attack from above, an elevator repairman whose knowledge of the UT tower enabled him to guide police officers through the building, and a UT employee who led officers through underground tunnels to an entrance to the tower. Obviously, it being 41 years ago now, we have lost a number of our heroes, our fellow citizens, ordinary citizens who were heroic that day and helped out. So we have some in memoriam certificates, and I believe each of the people that we are honoring has somebody here accepting their memoriam certificate, and then we have a handful of folks who are here with us who were there that day and played a heroic role. So my instinct is that sort of protocol would suggest that we take our in memoriam certificates first. The certificates, I will read a sample certificate and then read the honorees. But I guess before I do that, I'd like to ask Lieutenant now, Sean Mannix, to come up and say a few words, essentially on behalf of police officers and specifically the Austin Police Department. Lieutenant?
Thank you, Mayor. If I can ask our newest yet most senior member of the Police Department, Chief Art Acevedo, to join me up here as we honor these folks. Also, I see some retired Austin police officers. Commander Gross, if you could please join the officers up here. Chief Shaw, Public Safety, your uniformed cops, we all do the same job. Please join the folks up here as we honor these heroes. August 1st, 1966 started out in Austin, Texas as any other day. It turned out to be anything but an ordinary day for the folks that you see and the families that you see standing up here. Everybody up here is being honored for their acts of heroism on that particular day. The folks up here were instrumental in taking out Austin's most notorious coward, Charles Whitman. Charles Whitman climbed the tower and acted in the capacity of a sniper in a long standoff with police after killing members of his own family, leaving in the wake 16 dead and 32 wounded. Everybody represented here today, it has something to do with giving their all, but nobody gave more than Officer Billy Speed, who gave the ultimate sacrifice in losing his life in the defense of others. All involved that day are heroes, whether it be the person that was on a traffic post keeping the public from entering the area, whether it be those that ran into the tower in pursuit of a dangerous suspect, whether it be those such as Officers McCoy and Martinez that fired the deadly shots killing this notorious coward. All were heroes. The citizens that you see up here today or that are being recognized today, they could have been among those that fled. they were not. Among the folks that were involved that day were not just Austin police officers, but Department of Public Safety, citizens, cops and civilians working together. That's what it's about. Those went above and beyond, and I say to all of us here that wear the uniform today, these folks set the mark, what our citizens expect of our public safety officials. And with that, I'd like to ask Mayor Wynn to issue the certificates.
Thank you, Lieutenant and Chief. So again, we have in memoriam certificates, Distinguished Service Awards. I'll read one of these, and then I'll read the list of those folks we are honoring, and we have folks here accepting on their behalf. But it's an official City of Austin Distinguished Service Award in memoriam for his or her brave actions on behalf of the citizens of Austin during Charles Whitman's rampage atop the University of Texas Tower 41 years ago. These individual folks, whose name I'll read in a second, are deserving of public acclaim and recognition, thanks to the efforts of many police officers who courageously performed their sworn duty to protect and serve, along with civilians who put their own safety at risk to help others. One of the nation's most notorious mass murderers was put to an end. The bravery, altruism, and clear thinking of these heroes outshine the horror of that day. This certificate is presented in recognition and appreciation thereof this 9th day of August in the year 2007, signed by me and acknowledged by the entire Austin City Council, these Distinguished Service Awards in memoriam. And again, as we heard Lieutenant Maddox say earlier, the only one of honorees who was actually killed at the scene, shot by Whitman, and died there at the base of the tower. These others have passed on since then. But this Distinguished Service Award in memoriam goes to APD Officer Billy Paul Speed, and I believe some grandchildren, Mary and Spencer Davis, are here to accept the award. Also, a Distinguished Service Award for Jim Boutwell, and his widow, Louise, is with us. DPS Agent W.A. Cowan, and accepting on for her father is Kay Cowan. Alan Crum and Brian Jewell from the Co-op is here accepting on his behalf. Sorry. Okay. That's right, worked at the Co-op there on the drag. Frank Holder, Danny, Mike, and Frank Holder Jr., 3 sons, are here, we're told. APD Lieutenant Marion Lee, Detective Trey Kleinert from APD is here. Okay. APD Officer George Shepard and his widow Vicki is here to accept the award.